band and goes on to a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame career. So very appropriate. And you'll see when she comes out, Eliza's all dressed in black today. So like that's very Joan Jett too. So it's all kind of worked out. So what I've done is to take the iconic Joan Jett tune, I Love Rock and Roll, or I Love Rock and Roll, and turn it into, yes, exactly, turn it into Money Makes the Colloquium Go. Yeah, anyway, it goes a little bit like this. So first of all, I know I don't look anything like a rock and roller in this outfit, but a little bit of a snarl, a little bit of gravel in the voice, and here we go. So, we had a good idea to have some talks, and we knew that VIU humanities rocks, but we needed to get some cash, or the idea it'd turn to ash. We needed help from our dean to let us be heard and seen. Yeah, we needed help from our dean to let us be heard and seen. Now money makes the colloquium go. She provides every dime of our funding, baby. Money makes the colloquium go. So come join in and say thanks with me. Thank you. There we go. Yeah. So thanks to Marnie very much indeed. Thanks to the applause. I'm not proud. I'll take it for either sincere praise or pity. Either one, it works out pretty well. Now, so let's, without any further ado, let's get on to the rest of our program today. Again, lots of music coming your way, real music. But first, before we get to Eliza and her group, please help me welcome to the stage Dr. Catherine Rollwagon, who's also in the VIU History Department, as she will be introducing Eliza and those who will be joining with her this morning. So, Catherine.
Thank you, Tim. As always, you are a difficult act to follow. Good morning. Those of you who know Eliza know that she is kind of a force of nature. Yes, she does teach theater here at VIU. She has in the past owned a children's theater company, directed Greek tragedy in a prison. She's presented several colloquium presentations on her research. And she is a very active member of our campus community and currently the chair of the Vancouver Island University Faculty Association's Status of Women Committee, which is organizing or helping to organize the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence that begins today. So you can keep your eye out for more events that Eliza will be participating in the coming weeks. So it's not really a surprise to hear that she also has a rock band. And so today I want to acknowledge that she's joined on stage by no less than 4 very talented musicians: Michelle Gilligan on percussion and vocals, Anne Reinhardt on drums, Carolyn Kuhn on vocals, and Monique Rapp on vocals and mandolin. Eliza Gardiner also on guitar and vocals. And together they bring you Concessions of a Wannabe Rock Star.
Is it 10 a.m.? That means we're ready to rock and roll here in this beautiful venue. I'm Eliza Gardiner. It's my pleasure to perform here in my home department at Malaspina Theatre on the traditional territory of the Snuneymuxw First Nation. We're going to share wonderful original work in progress with you this morning, featuring my dear friends who've been rehearsing with me so hard all fall. I have Michelle and Carolyn and Monique. Act 1, Scene 1. The singer sits with her music equipment downstage right. The mid-stage area is set with a large video projection screen. The screen is used for both front and rear projections during the show. This functions as a pre-recorded music video style backdrop as well as a live projection screen that captures the action on stage as it is performed. Downstage left is Sally's artsy, angsty, teenage attic bedroom, cluttered with fringed throw rug and pillows, a coat rack, a couple of guitars, a cajon, and a mural of Mr. Mojo Rising painted on the peaked ceiling. The screen images show a fading from black to blue into white with an eerie hum. The image flashes into bright and explodes into sparkles, then shows buildings collapsing, bombs shooting columns of air and earth, planes crashing, crying faces, a woman in flames screaming. The singer, stage right, perched on a stool, with her mini sound setup, mics and amps, hung with hats all around her. The singer describes Sally. Sally saw God in the bedroom of her youth, the white light, the hum, the premonitions of destruction, riding that wave. Ah, you and your dewdrop eyes. Lights come up slowly on Sally in the bedroom. She kneels on the rug, hands outstretched, eyes asking upwards for help. The final moments were aflame, Sally begging, reaching for savior, pleading, praying. She collapses as the sound and shocking montage fades fast back into blue. Sally stands awkward, stiff, uncomfortable in her clothing, pulling at her oversized men's white business shirt, loosening the waistband on her baggy blue jeans, loosening bra straps, fussing, looking at herself in an imaginary full-length mirror, which is shown to the audience via the projection screen. The singer says, maybe it had something to do with all the peer pressure. Maybe it had something to do with the all-night drinking parties on the old iron bridge. Maybe it was the wisdom teeth getting pulled, the codeine, the loneliness. Maybe it had more to do with dying, last breaths, death, spirit guides, and white feathers. The live projection camera closes in on Sally as she examines herself, and it crossfades into pre-recorded stormy skies, fog, offerings, eyes, feathers, torches, guns, spirit guides, a world in turmoil. Now with feathers fluttering down all around her, making Sally wonder, like Keats, whether it was a vision or a waking dream, the music begins. Sally says, is this a vision or a waking dream? And takes a feather, moving back into her own bedroom space, holding her head up with new purpose, with new determination. The screen goes black in preparation for the first music video. In that moment, Sally saw a role for herself in the drama unfolding. She saw the reason for her existence. Sally saw that she should be a rock star. Well, she never counted sheep, but she cut some corners. Sally never had a Big Mac from McDonald's. No, she never tried to tell before this story, so I'll tell you what she told me on the night when she was born. She flew the blue sky above us. Some call it dangerous. Sally says it's wondrous to see what I have seen. Well, her father found it hard just to make a living, and her mother loved the smell of New York City. Well, she only thought she'd know them for a moment, but they stayed with her till she had grown beyond the fallen grave. She flew the blue sky above us. Some call it dangerous. Sally says it's wondrous to be where I have been. Dawning of new light awakens an appetite. Sally, can this be how it feels when it's right? Losing the old way, finding a new way. Oh, Sally, I feel the way you feel. I beat up, bop, bop, boop, you're gonna be my baby. A cheetah, cocoa, kuka, you'll call me Katie. But Daddy said, don't let them drag you down, girl. Just show them what you showed me on the night when you were born. You flew the blue sky above us. Some call it dangerous. Sally says it's wondrous to see what I have seen. She flew the blue sky above us. Some call it dangerous. Sally says it's wondrous to be where I have been. She flew the blue sky above us. Some call it dangerous. Sally says it's wondrous to see what I have seen. To be where I have been, to ski what I have skied. Act 1, Scene 2. The lights fade up on the singer and Sally as she sits shaking off her sadness, primping and fussing and straightening back in preparation for her interview.
Oh boy.
Sally settles into life without mother, keeping herself inspired by imagining herself on late night talk shows. You ready for me, Kat? Are my lyrics personal, she says to the imaginary host. Totally. I can't escape myself. No writer can completely remove herself from her work or her characters. Sally takes out a notebook and scrawls quickly, then counts on her fingers, bends her head into the next line, looking up in concentration. Sally didn't want to dream away the tedium. She quit her job waitressing the breakfast shift at the corner cafe, chefed by an unruly Greek who thought she'd be best off settling down after university with his son, a telephone repairman who liked his eggs over easy with burnt toast, no butter. Sally started to pack. She went to say her goodbyes to her friends and her goodbye to her boyfriend. With a bunch of stuff, things that she thought she'd need, all jammed into an old canvas pack sack she'd found in the musty basement. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. My love, oh, when you come see me, oh, what will you bring me? A posy of daisies. Our love is not like a flower that reaches for sunshine to then wilt away. No, our love is more like a dark night, spangled with stars, oh, never to fade. Oh, so bring me bouquet of diamonds, sparkle my evenings, sparkle my days. My love, oh, when you come see me, oh, what will you tell me? Or share me a secret? Our love started out like a love letter, written in whispers across my heart. Now love, it's coming on like a locomotive, carrying promises, never to forget. Yeah, yeah. So tell me, my kiss tastes like roses. Sparkle my mornings, sparkle my nights. You found me, I'll give you my turquoise ring, the one that my father gave to me. My love has eyes like the ocean, blue like a river, indigo sky. Oh love, oh if you don't need me, oh let me down gently, I'll try not to cry. Oh love, oh if you don't need me, oh let me down gently, I'll try not to cry. Thank you so much. The boyfriend hated the song. He wouldn't go. They came up with a quasi semblance of an agreement that he would follow her out west and assist on the big dream. But what resulted was Sally waving goodbye. She waved goodbye to boyfriend, waved goodbye to girlfriends, waved goodbye to iron bridges, to parties on iron bridges. She caught the westbound Greyhound, watching the boreal forest whip by the window in waves of green and gray granite. She made it all the way to Wawa. Cramped already from the ride, she bailed for a quick break from the highway and ended up staying a little longer than envisioned. She had serving experience and got hired immediately upon walking into the local dive bar. She sat reflecting on this new development, and the local dive bar band got up to play. It was a Thursday night after all, and who needed another excuse to rock out and party? During a gap in the evening's bluesy progressions, Sally took to the jimmied up stage and she sang. A 1, 2, 3, 4. Slide through the beat, right on the music suite. I suggest we follow hippies to the west now, sliding through the beat. If you stood under the page, you understood. Would you see some things you thought you never would? If you listen to the wind that blows its Say don't move too fast, please take it slow. Keep your feet on the ground, your head on your shoulders. Slide through the beat, right on the music sweet. I suppose you'll never try until you know now. Slide through the beat. If you walked around the things you around walked, would you notice how the backward people talk? If you listen to the river flow, it say don't move too fast, please take it slow. Keep your feet on the ground, your head on your shoulders. Oh yeah. And brother, I got to get a going now. Blood is difficult to stop flowing now. I got to carry on my way now, hey now. Slide through the beat, right on the music sweet. I forgot I also am what I am not now. Sliding through the beat. If you love the way the holy people do, would you love me and would I love only you? If you meditate upon the snow, it say don't move too fast, please take it slow. Keep your feet on the ground, your head on your shoulders. Oh yeah. And brother, I got to get a going now. Blood is difficult to stop flowing now. I got to carry on my way now, hey now. And now slide. And now slide. Now slide. Thank you so much for clapping. The people at the bar hated the song. But they loved Sally. They liked the way she looked. They liked the way she moved. They liked her tolerance for G&Ts, rum and cokes, and all things vodka. So she stayed, took the job, and forgot for a moment or for some many, many months about the big dream. Then one night she remembered. He was such a cool, swaggering fella. He invited her to ride along in his big rig. He had friends in Swift Current, producers, people with contacts and equipment. He showed her all 18 wheels and gave her a leg up into the cushy cab. He slipped his lovely lady into first gear and picked up the CB receiver. Napanee stroker heading west from Wawa. Any rental RVs I can scare in no man's land? The radio squelched back and he chortled. A black lab puppy jumped onto Sally's lap from the bunk behind the polyester velvet drape. That's Buddy, my trucker friend said. Picked him up in Barrie. He was so cute with a snuggly nose and wriggling body, all cozy in Sally's lap. They drove and she dozed. She felt the rocking of the rig, the pup's soft breath, felt his weight, his shoulders shifting, his head nudging, and she dreamed of mountains and seashells. She felt Buddy's changing positions across her thighs, his prodding higher, his dragging her out of good dreams. Visions of panting eyes woke her, warning her to push against the pressing, not against the pup's velvety head, but against the man's big paw hand, out of my pants, pressing and clutching. Stop! Sally reacts to the brakes being engaged, jerking forward, fumbling for the door, opening it to fall out, grabbing her guitar case and screaming again, "Stop!" Sally slams the door and shakes her fist. "Go!" Sally screams and shook and cried. The running form of a better man rose from the shadows behind her to save her from this darkness. The screen illuminates the famous statue of Terry Fox, a tribute sculpture just outside of Thunder Bay. Folks, if you're not up on your Canadian geography, our hero has not made it yet out of Ontario. She was stranded in Thunder Bay and invented a world where loyalty and love prevailed, somewhere hot with history. She imagined the long highway bringing people together instead of pulling them apart. It's been a while since I traveled. It's a long way to Texas. Can't get San Antonio out of my mind. It's been a while since I saw you. It's a long stretch of highway. San Antonio, Texas, now that just sounds right. Slow down, can you receive me? Your signal is fading. Repeat what you say. So sorry. Can you forgive me? If the connection is broken, quit calling me. My heart longs for Texas, no matter what you did. My heart longs for roses and rivers. My heart longs for Texas, no matter what she said. Take it down to the Rio Grande, wash away your sins. Every mile paints a picture, silver moon across my shoulder. Got that reckoning music turned up for the ride. Every mile draws me closer. I'll arrive there come Sunday. Got my boots packed, that polka dot dress that you like. Slow down, can you receive me? Your signal is fading. Repeat what you say. So sorry. Can you forgive me? If the connection is broken, quit calling me. My heart longs for Texas, no matter what you did. My heart longs for roses and rivers. My heart longs for Texas, no matter what she said. Take it down to the Rio Grande, wash away your sins. dusty, sexy, yeah. City days turn to salty nights. San Antonio, Texas will suit me just fine. If I don't get there by sundown, remember my good intentions. I cherish you, baby. I'm ready to say I do. My heart longs for you, boy, no matter where you've gone. My heart longs for your sweet kisses. My heart longs for Texas, where they say what's done is done. Lay it down by the Rio Grande, wish on Lone Star above. Lay it down by the Rio Grande, wish on Lone Star above. Thank you so much. Thank you. So it was actually years, and I hadn't heard from Sally in some time. Somehow, I'm not sure exactly how, because of losing touch over the years, Sally contacted me. She had made it to Estevan, Saskatchewan. It's a small town, quite a ways off from the main road, quite close to the American border, off the beaten track. It must have taken a series of rides and negotiations to get old Sal where she wanted to go, where the wheat and the windmills are blown by that yellow prairie wind. She called me sometime in April, lamenting the change in the seasons, talking about the people she'd met and how she had survived the weather and was back on track, writing and wandering and wondering if she'd ever make it big. A 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's been a long, cold winter. I got a fever in my bones. It's been too long since I saw you. What you got going on? Pick up the phone, baby, and this long, cold winter. Here's a story about a big man named Mac. Spent his days drinking down at the old jam shack, playing harmonica with all the wannabes and all the runaways and all the rebels, and a guitar he'd strum and he'd bang on his drum and he'd sing. It's been a long, winding road I've been traveling on my own. It made me take a hard look at myself, find out what I've been hiding. You got my number and this long, cold winter. Here's a story about the lovely Luann. She's kicking back in her castle in the sand, drinking tequila with all the vagabonds and all the surfers and all the soul searchers, and a guitar she'd strum and she'd bang on a drum and she'd sing. It's been another long, lonely night, repenting all my crimes. It's been a damn high price to pay to keep my love locked away. Why don't you call me and this long, lonely night. When you hold me, suddenly heavenly choirs sing. Come rescue me, together we'll make a million more memories. Or just call me, and this long cold winter, sing along. It's been a long cold winter, I got a fever in my bones. It's been too long since I saw you. What you got going on? Why don't you call me? You got my number. Pick up the phone, baby, and this long cold winter. So, Estevan, Saskatchewan was not all Sally thought it would be, and she still dreamed of great scaping vistas. She wanted to succeed at least in one part of the goal, which was to make it to the Rocky Mountains. You can all identify with me, right? Because we're all here right now and we know that vision in our minds. Sally hitched more rides and overcame more challenges, made it all the way to Calgary, Alberta, and wrote this song. One, two, three, four. I think I'll go out to the Rocky Mountains. Baby sister plays the tambourine. Baby sister drives a beat-up pickup. Might take it down to New Orleans. When she gets there, she'll be sure to go knocking on your door. Part of the same old harvest, part of the same old circus, part of the same old I'll see you again. Tired of the same old promise, tired of the same old secrets, tired of the same old I'll see you again. I think I'll go out to the Rocky Mountains. Baby sister found a brand new scene. Baby sister bought a brand new pickup. Might take it down to New Orleans. When she gets there, she'll be sure to go knocking on your door. Part of the same old harvest, part of the same old circus, part of the same old I'll see you again. Tired of the same old promise, tired of the same old secrets, tired of the same old I'll see you again. I'll go out to the Rocky Mountains. Baby sister knows just what I mean. Baby sister rides a burden snowboard. Might sell it down in New Orleans. She won't need it no more. She'll be knocking on your door. She won't need it no more. When she gets there, she'll be sure to go knocking on your door. Part of the same old harvest, part of the same old circus, part of the same old I'll see you again. Tired of the same old promise, tired of the same old secret, tired of the same old I'll see you again. Part of the same old, part of the same old, part of the same old I'll see you again. So she did it. She hitched that final ride and got all the way to Revelstoke. And she was wowed and partly satisfied, although her big dream of rock and roll stardom had taken some shifts along the road. She decided that she wasn't going back. That was the place that she would settle. She got herself a gig at the local festival and was super stoked, last I heard, to get on that main stage and entertain the big crowds. Of course, when she showed up, she was on the small stage in the very back of the field, but she sang her heart out anyway. Yeah? 1, 2, 3, 4. Everybody say slow dance, it'll help you relax, it'll help you get your feet up on the right track, yeah. Slow down to turn it all around, everybody get your heart up off the ground. Every Saturday I'll think of you and all the things you said you'd do, all the times you told me you'd be true. Every Saturday I think of you and all the things you said you'd do, all the times you told me you'd be true. Happiness is in your heart. Doesn't matter where you are, no, no, whoa, whoa, whoa. Happiness is in your heart. In the end is the beginning, so we'll finish where we started with a slow dance. Slow dance. So yeah. Everybody say red wine will make you feel fine. It'll break your body through to the other side, yeah. Romance to taking a chance. Everybody get your feet on the floor, full slow dance. Every Saturday I think of you and all the things you said you'd do, all the times you told me you'd be true. Every Saturday I think of you and all the things you said you'd do, all the times you told me you'd be true. Happiness is in your heart. Doesn't matter where you are, no, no, whoa, whoa, whoa. Happiness is in your heart. In the end is the beginning, so we'll finish where we started with a slow dance. Slow dance. Wow, yeah. walk away. If I could only say, very well, boy, forgive me. I'm so sorry. Oh, but saying I can't walk away. I can't walk away. No, 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 no. I'm holding out for a slow dance. I'm holding out for a slow dance to help me relax, to help me get my feet back on the right track. Yeah, slow down to turn it all around. Everybody get your heart up off the ground. Every Saturday I think of you and all the things you said you'd do, all the times you told me you'd be true. Every Saturday I think of you and all the things you said you'd do, all the times you told me you'd be true. I'm holding out for a slow dance. I'm holding out for a slow dance. Thanks so much, folks. You know, the thing about Sally is she's not too up on the use of all the modern modes of technology. And so when email was invented, it really helped me stay in touch. She had settled in Revelstoke. She was still singing, last I heard, had a couple of kids. We talked about all of those early childhood years, the wooden toy rules, the homeschooling to come. And she was quite determined to settle in and stay there. She got a job on a surveying crew and was working up in the bush, quite satisfied to sing in her own back bedroom. And this is the kind of song she would play. One, two, three, four. I ain't never going back to my childhood home. Going down to where the green grass grows, past crumble up all the factories, past ghost of working and reminiscing of my childhood home. Will you marry me? In the meadow across that crooked creek, in the dapple of the sugar maple trees, where the green grass grows. That's where I promised to be your bride. Oh, down by the riverside. Till I die, and oh, where the green grass grows, where the green grass grows. I'll take my chances, I'll wear your ring. Holy chorus of the angels sing, where the green grass grows. Times I wish I wouldn't wander. There will be times you wish I'd understand. There will be times you see fire in my hazel eyes that shine where the green grass grows. Lay me down where the green grass grows. Don't deny what you mean to me. If you don't love me, then set me free. green grass grows. Oh, back to my childhood home. Yeah, yeah, where the green grass grows. Oh, whoa, whoa, oh, where the green grass grows. And so, like all journey stories, they take twists and turns and end up maybe in a place that you didn't predict at the beginning. Last time I talked to Sally, she was quite satisfied singing in her living room, but I still wish she'd get up there and get those gigs and share that love of music and love of life with audiences all over this beautiful country. Sometimes when I tell this story about Sally, people actually think it's about me. But it's a little bit about me. It's a little bit about my friends. It's a little bit about all of you, because we have dreams, big dreams that also take twists and turns. And so I wrote this song for Sally, hoping to inspire her to keep that dream alive. And no matter what, to remember that love will prevail. Instead of falling, oh, stand up for impossible love. Stand up for a heart that's calling. Instead of falling, oh, stand up for love. Instead of falling, oh, stand up for impossible love. Stand up for a heart that's calling. Instead of falling, oh, stand up for love. If you don't got it, wait for it. If you got it, be grateful for it. If you don't, you will probably be sorry. If you get it, hold on to it. If you rub it up, get down to it. If you don't, you'll regret it tomorrow. Forgive me and kiss me, baby. You got my heart in your hands. I've fallen, so catch me, baby. You got to make me understand. Did you say goodbye before you walked away? Did you mean to make me cry so I could sing again? Now when I'm alone, I dream of nights with you and mornings of impossible love. Instead of falling, oh, stand up for impossible love. Stand up for a heart that's calling. Instead of falling, oh, stand up for love. Stand up for love. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, my beautiful friends, Monique and Carolyn, Anne and Michelle. Thank you, my amazing technicians, Sid and Steve. I feel like I'm accepting an award now. Kat and Bryce, Liv, Brandon, and Chris. What a wonderful technical crew. And to the colloquium committee and our wonderful birthday girl, Dean Marnie Stanley, for supporting this creative and scholarly initiative.
Yes, indeed. Thank you so much, Eliza, for that. And thank you for referencing that, yes, this is a special day for our Dean. Marnie, is her birthday. Since this has been a musical day, why not? Let's just all sing a rousing version of Happy Birthday, shall we? 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Marnie. Happy birthday to you.
Okay, thank you very much. Oh, hey, lovely flowers. Excellent. Well, now we're going to have some time here for some questions for Eliza and others. I know I was inspired to think a lot about, well, where did this come from? Where does the story, or just questions about the creative process? And I really did find the whole thing very interesting. Like this, to see this work in progress, and if this goes on to be the giant hit that it might well be, you can say, I was there when. You know, this was when it was all kind of getting underway. Exactly. And quite an amazing journey for Sally in her progression. And I love all the interesting little stops along the way, the Wawas and the Estevans and the Thunder Bays. Very, very cool. But while you're thinking about questions to ask, I do want to remind you that our colloquium series will start again in January in the new year, and the musical theme will continue as well, because on Friday morning, January 20th, BIU music professor Hans Verhoeven will be presenting Little Thunder, a brief history of the snare drum. So if you want to get into the backstory of the snare drum, come see it. Hans always puts on a great presentation and usually has lots of musical help as well. So be sure to join us then on January 20th. Now, if indeed you do have questions, the process is Dr. Catherine Rollwagon has a hand mic there. Just raise your hand and she'll run over to you, and so you can ask the question so that we can all hear it, and fire away.
Wow, that's a great question. So the next step is we're going to start a U2 cover band. We're going to move on to other creative jam girl band friends around the campfire songs. But as far as this project goes, it's obviously a work in progress. For today, we focused on the songwriting and song singing component, but I would like to apply for a Canada Council or BC Arts Council grant for a written work in progress in order to carve out that time that it's going to take me to perfect the bits in the story that I haven't fully developed yet. And so in its final vision, there would be an actor playing Sally, and that actor would sing some of the songs from her perspective, and then her narrator friend wouldn't sing every single song. And also, as she hits these challenging moments along the road that waylay her from the journey itself and her goals, she finds other beings, not necessarily human beings, but the wheat blowing in the field, for example, gives her that moment of contemplation that actually builds up her self-appreciation to take one step further. And so in the final version, each of the singers and musicians would join the stage in increments because they would represent those good characters that she meets along the way that propel her pursuit of excellence. So I need a grant to do that because it's really tough for me to go home at night and focus on this. If you saw my notes, you would understand what I'm talking about.
Hi, thank you so much. I loved it. I brought my teenage daughter with me. She's skipping school. I think this was worth it. But she's going to make it back for math, so don't worry.
Okay.
I just wanted to ask a little bit about your songwriting process. I know it's a big question, so if it's easier to just pick a song, but I'd love to know a little bit more about how you came to write the songs and what your process is.
So thanks, Kathleen. Some of these songs date way back to my own teenage years, and it's actually tough now that I've redated them in different versions of this particular production to even remember completely where it popped up. But they are, like many songs, kind of a conglomerate of people and ideas and feelings I've had along the way in my own, creative path. But usually it's a story, it's a character for me that comes first. And then the melody, I plunk away on my guitar. My son Winston has heard me playing chords over and over and over and over again until it seems to just come together almost cosmically. And the words connect to the melody, and the harmonies are what I dream of. I can't actualize those in my own back bedroom. So that's why it's been a real pleasure to rehearse these particular numbers with this wonderful set of friends.
And what about the arranging or the coming up of the instrumentation and the sound, and how did that come together?
We played and played and jammed and came up with incredible nuances and punctuation and a little bit of syncopation too, I hope, just for today, Sonnet. So that was our arrangement that we created. These are all musical geniuses in my mind. And so we put this arrangement together. And I think there's incredible, keepable, durable, long-lasting moments that I hope the recording has picked up on so we can hear what we did for future uses. Yeah, maybe in the end there would be a little more, maybe a tiny bit of banjo in places and a bass guitar. Yeah. Any bass guitar players out there looking for a girl band? Oh,
You really enjoyed the whole performance, and especially your songs, Eliza.
Thank you,
they were
Arlene.
really wonderful. But and maybe it's just me being kind of stupid, but I didn't really understand the opening sequence in your dialogue. Could you explain that a bit more, please?
So in the opening, what I decided to do for today was to set the scene on what really will be stage directions. So not all of what I said today will be read, because you'll see it on the stage by way of the set pieces described in the projection screen that'll play great Canadiana montage during some of the songs as a living backdrop. And so I wanted to give you that sense of the theatricality of it, because I do envision, actors being placed within a set that includes a mixed media, multimedia backdrop. And so even the lines I kind of fused together. So it sounded like one voice was speaking the full narrative, but really just like when you read a play and the stage directions aren't vocalized, because they're present and visual to the audience. I won't have to say that quite that much the next time around if I get my video edited. Yeah. Yes. Yes. And so in the beginning, so like many characters at the outset of a plot, there's a kind of crisis that propels them to deep thinking and to make a bit of a plan for a shift in their existence. And so Sally, in the beginning, is living this teen angsty life, and her mother dies. And so that moment is represented by these really quite jarring juxtapositions of images that aren't really explained in the text, because that's going to be that visual element that kind of gets the audience at least into the realm of something bad happened. And the something bad that happened is what actually gives her the momentum to start the big journey. Yep. Yep.
What was the big boom?
What was the big boom? What was that big boom?
That scared me.
A guitar became unplugged.
Yeah.
But that was good. We
It was
kept
unplugged.
rolling with it. We kept going. That's
I
fine.
said, what was that?
Just
Alrighty.
keep keeping on in that live
Mhm.
theater
That's right.
kind of
absolutely.
vibe.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, thanks again to Eliza and to all her many talented friends here, and to the techs, and to you for coming out again, and again for sharing the whole process, right? I don't know whether it's the central theme in the play or not, but I did notice that line in the second to last song that basically is happiness is in your heart, no matter where you are. Even if you're in Wawa or Estevan, they can still, yeah, even as happy as those places are, you can really, happiness is in your heart. So very, very cool. So again, thanks for joining us. Hopefully you can see you again in come January when we get started again. And yes, thanks for all your support to the series. Have a great end of the year and new year, and we'll see you in January. So again, thanks.
Thank you.